What's up everyone, this is CyberKnight, and today I have some Yu-Gi-Oh news for you guys. Looks like a ton of cards were revealed last night, and the ones I'm going to talk about in this video are basically brand new cards that were revealed for Flames of Destruction. And if you haven't heard about Flames of Destruction, it's the next main set that's coming out for Japan in, I believe, January 13th, remember correctly? I think it's something like that, of course, next year. And we'll probably get this set, I think it's around March or May, something like that, of course, because it's the set after Extreme Force. So anyway, we finally have some info on the cards that are going to be in it, so let's go through them. And also too, there's a ton of cards that are in this. I mean, we have like some new cards for Revolver, new cards for Blue Angel, which are Trickstars obviously, Elemental Lords, and so many different things. So I'm going to kind of skim through some of these cards, but everything will be in the description. You guys want to follow along with me and read through these effects. So anyway, let's get started. First one we have is a brand new Link monster. This is one that's getting a lot of hype lately, and it's pretty awesome. And that is Topologic Trisbaena. I don't know how you say that, but pretty awesome card. Anyway, it is a Link monster, Link of 3, Dark Cybers, 2,500 attack. The Link arrows are at the top, bottom left, and bottom right, and materials have to be at least 2 effect monsters. Anyway, its effect is, if a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, banish that monster and as many spell trap cards on the field as possible. And if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each of their cards banished by this effect. So basically, this card is kind of reminding me of like Dark Strike Fighter and even like Heavy Storm or Harpy's Feather Duster even, because that's what's really good about this card, is that you're just able to get rid of a bunch of spell or trap cards. So it's just able to wipe out the field of those. You're doing some burn damage, but the only downside is that, of course, that you have to have a monster that is special summoned to a zone this card points to, which can even be one of your own monsters if you want. You could banish that and then just get rid of a bunch of spells and traps. So in my opinion, this card could work really well against anything that uses pendulums, because you just clear the field. You don't have to deal with, like, you know, pendulum magicians. They have a bunch of like back row and everything, and their pendulums scale set up. Just get rid of it. Don't have to worry about it anymore. So it seems like a pretty good card for that. And yeah, I mean, it's generic as well. So definitely a card I want to get as soon as possible, and I think a lot of different decks could really use it. Then after that, these are ones I'm going to kind of skim through because they're basically new cards for Revolver. And that just means they're easy to bring out dragon monsters to help you link summon. I mean, that's basically what they do. So we have Death for a Dragon. I mean, it's like a level 3 dark dragon monster. That's what it does. It just gets on the field as easily as possible. So there you go. You're going to link summon with it. And same with Background Dragon. It's a level 5 you can easily bring out. And again, you know, it can help you bring out some extra monsters and just help you link summon. So not a ton to say on that, but they seem like some pretty good support. Also, Red Reboot. I'm going to read through this one just because it's kind of interesting. It is a counter trap card, and its effect is you can activate this card from your hand by paying half your life points. When your opponent activates a trap card, your opponent cannot activate trap cards for the rest of this turn. Also negate that activation, and if you do, set it on the field. Then your opponent can take one trap card from their deck, set it to their spell trap card zone. So pretty much it's kind of like Solemn Judgments remind me of, just because you're paying half your life points, you're able to negate a trap card, make it so your opponent can't activate trap cards, and yeah, I mean, that it's just a good counter trap really on that kind of stuff. Only thing is that's kind of negative is, first off, you're paying half your life points, and in some duels that can be a good thing. Sometimes you have to be careful when you do something like that, but of course that's when you activate it from your hand. So you can't just sit on your side of the field and still use it, you know, then you won't lose so many life points. And also, you are basically making it so they can search for a trap card. So yeah, there's a little bit of downsides, but I can see this card coming in handy as well. So either way, again, just kind of a card worth mentioning just because it has a really interesting effect. Then next up we have Trickstars. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be excited about this because I know a lot of my viewers love Trickstars. So first one we have is a brand new Link monster for them. It's a monster with a Link of 1, and it's Trickstar Bloom. It's a light fairy effect monster, of course, with 100 attack. The Link's arrows are at the bottom, and the material has to be 1 level 2 or lower Trickstar monster. Anyway, its effect is you can only use this card's names to effect once per turn. The first effect is, if this card is link summoned, you can activate this effect, your opponent draws 1 card. And then the second effect, the one you can only use once per turn, is that if a Trickstar monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each card that they have in their hand. So yeah, basically, I mean, it's a Link 1 Trickstar, help you out, I guess, setting up, you know, for your different Link monsters, and also making your opponent draw cards and hurting them for it. So pretty interesting effect on that. I mean, it's pretty much the usual Trickstar, I feel like. And yeah, I mean, it's one that should be fairly easy to bring out and has some pretty good effects too. So looking forward to seeing what that's going to do for Trickstars. We also have a new field spell for them. Basically what it's doing is that when you link summon a Trickstar monster, then you're able to revive a Trickstar monster. So that was used as, the material for the link summon. So basically, it's there to help you, get more monsters in your set of field to link summon with. And then, of course, the second effect is there to make it so that your opponent can't activate a set card in their spell or trap card zone. And then they have to activate it during the end phase or it just returns to their hand. Again, interesting idea and one that I think is going to be kind of fun to see what it's going to do. So yeah, pretty good field spell. Then after that, we also have Trickstar Shakunage? Is that how you say that? Something like that. They kind of are trying to help me here with the pronunciation. Anyway, what does this card do? Basically, burn damage and helps you get, revive some of your Trickstars and stuff, because you discard a Trickstar card, then you target a Trickstar link monster graveyard, special summon it. So, just another way, get more monsters out there, link summon. There you go. Not a ton else to say besides that. And next up, though, we do have a card that's actually pretty surprising. We have another Elemental Lord. You guys may remember these from, like, what was it? Return of the Duelist had, like, the Earth one, then Grand Soil, and, like, Abyss Rising, I think, had the Water one, which, Burning Glacia? Was that its name? I don't know. There's quite a few, of course. Everything besides Light and Dark is what I'm getting to. So, looks like we have a Light one now, and that is Ferrosaurage, the Elemental Lord. Anyway, it is an effect monster that is a level 8 light fairy, 2,800 attack, 2,200 defense, and its effect is cannot be normal summoner set, must be special summoned from your hand by having exactly 5 light monsters in your graveyard. You can only use this card's name's one effect once per turn, and that one effect is when this card is special summoned, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. If this face-up card leaves the field, skip the battle phase of your next turn. So basically, it is a brand new Elemental Lord, this time for light monsters. Works basically like the others. It's just with this one, when it is special summon, you can just nuke the field on your opponent's monsters. I mean, you're just destroying all of them. So you're getting basically a Regeki from it, if you want to think of it like that. So seems like a pretty good Elemental Lord, and mainly just happy to see a new Elemental Lord. I was hoping we'd see a light and dark one, so I'm going to guess maybe next set, unless it's already in the set and we just haven't heard of it yet, we'll probably get a dark one pretty soon. We also have these new, like, element cards that are coming out, too. I guess it's like a new archetype. The first one, I guess, is kind of like the boss monster for them, not sure. It is Elementsaber Willard. Light warrior, effect monster with level of 6, 2,400 attack, 2,100 defense. And its effect is, you can only use this card's name's one effect once per turn. That first effect is, you can send 2 other monsters from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. While this card is in the monster zone, apply the following Elementsaber and Element Lord monsters you control according to the original attribute of the Elementsaber monsters sent to the graveyard to activate this card's one effect. And then, of course, let's see, if it's an Earth or Wind monster, they cannot be destroyed by battle. Water or Fire cannot be destroyed by card effects. And then Light and Dark, they cannot be targeted by opponent's card effect. So yeah, it's easy to bring out. The cards that you use to bring it out also kind of, change its effect for you. So it can be indestructible by effects, battle, or just can't be targeted by effects. So if you use this card right, you could, just make it so it can't really be bothered by anything. Interesting idea. I like that. Alright, and of course we have the rest of this, or what we have so far, I guess, of this Elementsaber archetype, which basically, with what they're able to do, it seems like, they can help you search, help you revive Elementsabers, and also change their attributes, so you get different effects. That's kind of a quick summary of everything, because I don't want to name off all these and go through all of their different effects, because it would take a second, but that's pretty much what they're doing. So it's basically new support for Elemental Lords, and of course this new Elemental Saber archetype. So can't wait to try them out and see what they're able to really do once we get all of them. But basically, this one is like the wind one for them. And while it's in your graveyard, you can declare an attribute. Until the end of this turn, the attribute of the card in the graveyard becomes the declared attribute. So you can change it. You can change attributes of different monsters and to get different effects, as you guys saw from, which I guess is their boss monster on that. So how his effect would change? There you go. And also, you can change this effect in the graveyard to help set up for the Elemental Lords, whichever one you want to bring out. Whether you want 5 light monsters for a new light Elemental Lord, or, Earth, and go for Grand Soil. Different things like that, basically. So, manipulating the attributes to bring out what you want. Then after that, they also have a brand new Continuous Trap card and a field spell. So, the Continuous Trap is, while this card is in the spell or trap card zone, Temple of the Elemental Lords you control cannot be destroyed by card effects and cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn, you contribute one monster, special summon from your deck one Elementsaber monster with a different original attribute than the attributed monster. You can send this face-up card in the spell trap card zone to the graveyard, discard your hand, then add one Element Lord monsters from your graveyard to your hand equal to the number of cards you discarded. So it's there to protect your field spell and set up everything to get monsters in your graveyard to go for Elemental Lords. It's pretty self-explanatory, honestly, from that. Then, of course, that field spell, which is Temple of the Elemental Lords, let's see, its effects are monsters you control gain 200 attack and defense for every attribute amongst the monsters in the graveyard. Once per turn, you can add one Elementsaber monster from your deck to your hand, then skip the battle phase of your next turn. Once per turn, if an Elementsaber monster you control or have in your hand would activate its effect by sending a card from your hand to the graveyard, you can send an Elementsaber monster from your deck to the graveyard instead. So, I mean, yeah, it sets up everything for you. It powers up your monsters, especially if you have different attributes, so you can get some serious attack actually from that. If you have like all the different attributes, there you go. And also it's a way for you to be able to, you know, add an Elementsaber monster from your deck to your hand. Of course, you skip your battle phase next turn, but it can be a good setup card anyway, so you know, whatever. If you're able to set up everything, I don't see that as being a big problem for you. And then for your Elementsaber cards, you know, the ones that you have that would send cards from your hand to the graveyard, well, you can just choose a different Elementsaber from your deck instead. So that way you can just basically choose, okay, I need this attribute. Well, I'm going to send this one from my deck to the graveyard instead. And there you go. So it just is a field spell that sets up everything like most field spells do. And not really anything else to say other than that, but it does look like they're going to be pretty fun to play. I'm tempted to try them out. And now, of course, last but not least, we have two more cards to talk about, and basically it's a new Monarch support card, and also a new Dragon to talk about too. So, first off with this new Monarch support, it is the Monarch's Readvent. It is an equip spell card, and its effect is you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first part of that effect is activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard with 2,400 attack and 1,000 defense, or 2,800 attack and 1,000 defense. Special summon it in defense position, and if you do, equip this card to it, but that monster's effects are negated. The equipped monster can be treated as two tributes for a tribute summon. Basically, it's kind of like Premature Burial, I guess, for Monarchs, because you can get a Mega Monarch from it, you can get an original Monarch, and just special summon it to your side of the field. Its effects are negated and everything, but it also counts as two tributes, so basically you can just use it to bring out another one of your Monarchs. Mainly, I guess, a Mega Monarch if you want to. So with that, I mean, you have a Revival card to help you bring out more Monarchs. And then next up we have a Time Battalion, the Steel Battalion Dragon. It is a level 4 effect monster Dark Dragon that has 2,000 attack and 0 defense. Anyway, its effect is cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summoned by this card's one effect. You can only use this card's name's one effect once per turn. And that one effect is, if 3 or more cards are in the same column, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, destroy all other cards in that card's column. While this card is in the monster zones, unused zones in this card's column cannot be used. So pretty much, it's just a monster you can easily bring out, destroy everything in the same column of it, so that could help you out, you know, if your opponent has a monster there, that would also be destroy spell and trap cards too, but you have to kind of, I guess, be careful where you place it, because you would also destroy one of your spell or trap cards, or something, you know, if it's in the same column. So be careful on that, and you want to just make sure where you actually place this card. But not only that too, it makes it so those zones can't be used either. So I feel like this card's going to be used some kind of lockdown, maybe with like those Ojama tokens or something. And yeah, just making it so you just kind of lock down your opponent, and you have a monster with 2,000 attack as well. So using that could definitely come in handy, and like I said, it just seems like an interesting card that I feel like is going to be part of some kind of interesting combo. And yep, there you go, that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a long video, forgive me on that. Just a lot of cards to talk about. I mean, when they give us Yu-Gi-Oh news, man, do we get some Yu-Gi-Oh news. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Tell me what cards you guys are most excited about from this. For me, I'm interested to see what these new Elemental Lords are going to do, and Elementsabers. And also, can't wait to see what else is going to be in this set, too, because I really like this new Topologic Link monster, and I'm hoping to see some other, you know, cool support for them, maybe another Topologic in the future. Who knows? But yeah, just let me know what you guys think, of course, down in the comments. What card is your favorite from this? Of course, like this video, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh news, and I will catch you guys later. See ya.